So hello, and today we're going to look at page 81. Open please page 81, and we're going to look at exercise 6, speaking, and exercise 7, pronunciation, homophones. Oh, I like homophones. Do you like homophones? We'll talk about those in just a moment. Now, let's go back first to exercise 6. Now, exercise 6 is a speaking exercise. So I'm going to set you the same challenge I've been setting you over the last couple of classes. Record yourself and send me a message. You can send it directly, you can send it to the group so we can hear your disaster story. Let's see. Think about a bad journey you've had. Now, it could be when you were on holiday or just something that happened on your way to work or school. Now, look at the plan below and decide what you are going to say. So let's have a look at the plan. So step 1. Step 1 is set the scene. Now, so some vocabulary that you might use. One of the worst journeys I've ever had. It happened a few months ago. It happened 10 years ago. For example, I was traveling to wherever. Number 2, give more details. Everything was fine until what happened was that suddenly, so anyway, finally, then we have number 3 to finish. Now it says end with a comment about how you felt. It was certainly the most I've never been so I'll never forget it. Now, letter B says work in groups of 3 or 4 and tell each other about your experience. Use the plan to help tell your story. But you know what I want you to do. I want to hear those stories. So make a voice recording. If you feel brave, it's optional. So if you feel brave, make a voice recording and send me your story. I'd really love to hear it. Now, let's move on to our pronunciation exercise number 7, homophones. Well, what is a homophone? Let's look at the blue box, shall we? Homophones. The weather was good. He was asking me whether the flight had been cancelled. So weather and weather are homophones. Now, can you see these two weathers? Weather and weather are homophones. So they are spelt differently. They have different meanings, but they are pronounced exactly the same. So this is what a homophone is. A word which sounds the same as another word, 2 words which sound the same, but they have different spellings and different meanings. Now, let's have a look at letter A. Now it says complete with partner. Again, complete each pair of sentences with homophones. Now, let's look at the example, because can you see in the example we have our phonetic transcription and we have our 2 different spellings. And we have a sentence A and B to explain the difference in meaning. So let's have a look. Now, before we go any further, I have a confession for you. There is one of the homophones on this list that is not a homophone for me. So I'll do my best. Received pronunciation so they sound the same. Now, let's have a look at number 2. Now, the phonetics is wait. Can you think of 2 different words which sound like wait? Well, let's look at the examples. We've got a 3-hour before the flight leaves. And letter B, what's the maximum for this hand luggage on this flight? Now, obviously, we're talking about a 3-hour wait and the maximum wait, but how are they spelled? Well, we have wait, the verb to wait, and weight, the noun, meaning how many kilos, for example, something is, how heavy something is. So that's weight. Now we've got a 3-hour wait before the flight leaves. What's the maximum weight for the hand luggage on this flight? Now, let's look at number 3. Now, number 3 is a homophone for me, but I pronounce the R. So let's look at the phonetics. The phonetics is bored. But I say bored. Can you hear the difference? Bored. So the phonetic transcription, receive pronunciation, bored. So let's have a look. Can you think of 2 words which sound like that? Well, let's have a look. We're bored. We didn't want to visit any more museums. We don't want to visit, any more museums. And the passengers are waiting to board their flights. So I pronounce the R, bored. But the transcription is bored. So far, so good. Both options are perfectly acceptable, by the way. Now, let's have a look at number 4. Let's look at the phonetics, shall we? The phonetic transcription, break. break. Can you think of two words which sound like break? Well, let's have a look at the first one. We're going to break the journey in Milan. We're going to break the journey in Milan, excuse me. And letter B, the airport bus had to brake suddenly when the lorry pulled out. No? So we have break. Now, can you see the context there of the different meanings? Now, number 5. Now, again, number 5 for me is a homophone, but I pronounce the R. Again, a little bit like board. Now, let's see. So the phonetic transcription is fair, fair, fair. Now, let's see. My ticket cost twice as much as yours. It's not fair, obviously, but I pronounce that R fair. No, it's not fair. How much is the air fare to Australia? No? So how much is the air fare to Australia? So far, so good? Number 6. Now, number 6 is a nice one. Number 6 is peace. Peace. Can you think of two words which sound like peace? Well, let's see. Where's the piece of paper with our flight details? We're going off the beaten track for a bit of peace and quiet. No? Peace. Peace. A piece of paper. Peace and quiet. Number 7. Now, number 7, let's mark it, is the one which is not, it's not a homophone for me, but I'll do my best. I'll do my best. So we have the phonetic transcription, caught, caught, caught. Now let's read the sentences. It's a 4-star hotel and it's even got a tennis court. A tennis court. Now, we only just caught the train. It left seconds after we got on it. Caught. Now for me, letter A is, it's a 4-star hotel. It's even got a tennis court, court, with the R very much pronounced, court. And letter B, we've only just caught the train. So there's no R pronounced there, no? It left seconds after we got on it. No, but in received pronunciation, we have caught in both cases, no? So they are homophones in received pronunciation. What about number 8? Let's have a look at number 8. Now the phonetic transcription is sight, sight. Can you think of two words which sound like sight? Well, let's have a look. We visited an archaeological site on the banks of the Nile. An archaeological site. My first sight of Venice completely took my breath away. My first sight of Venice completely took my breath away. You know, I can't resist that song. I can't resist it. What about number 9? Number 9, let's look at the phonetics. It's through, through, letter A. Can you think of two words? Through. When we arrived in the States, it took us ages to get through immigration, and the screener at security threw away my perfume because it was 200 mils or milliliters. No? So to get through immigration, and the screener at security threw away my perfume. Number 10. Number 10 is sweet. Sweet. Now let's see if you can think of two words with that sound. So we've booked the bridal suite for our honeymoon. I don't like the local white wine. It's too sweet for me. No? So we have sweet. Number 11, excuse me. Number 11, cereal. Cereal. Now again, this is an interesting one. Now, you'll need the serial number of your laptop to make an insurance claim, the serial number. And letter B, there wasn't much for breakfast, just toast and cereal. Now notice how in English we don't use the S there. I have cereal for breakfast. So there wasn't much for breakfast, just toast and cereal. No S, no? Cereal. And finally, the one from the example, which is weather, weather. Now again, I would pronounce the R, weather, weather, but this is the received pronunciation, weather. Now, let's look at the sentences. We can't decide whether to fly to Paris or to go by train. Our flight was delayed for 3 hours because of bad weather. Now, letter B says, test a partner. Now, test a partner. A, say one of the homophones. B, say what the two spellings and meanings are. Then swap roles. So, of course, just you can test yourself. Now, you can test yourself by practicing the spelling, especially the spelling of these different words. Okay, so that's all for today. Thanks for watching.